Every semester I get questions about the discussion post and the topic of the week and exactly what you need to do to achieve full points, or what I call achieve excellence, in that assignment. So, in the regular discussion posts, you will see that there will be some kind of either a question or asking you to do more research on something, and you are going to put an initial post in there. That initial post will consist of the answers to either the questions or your research. You do need to use outside sources and properly cite those sources in your initial post. Then from there, the reply post will be either you're going to reply to a classmate's initial post, or you're going to reply to a post that one of your classmates made on your initial post. However you do it, in whatever combination, you still need to have 3 posts at a minimum. So you're replying to, you have your initial, then you're replying to what someone put on yours, or you are replying to 2 other classmates' initial posts. However you do it, make sure that it is quality. So you're not saying, yes, I agree with what you're saying, your research was really great. You need to ask them a question. You need to present something that maybe they didn't present in their initial post. Try to make it an ongoing discussion. It's really boring for you to have to read the same thing over and over again. And so you want to try to put something else in there that will help. Here's some examples. So up at the top, I'm asking you to define certain things about documentation. That initial post is your initial post where you're going to provide that requested information. And then that reply post to someone else's reply. So you're saying, oh, it's really good, I like what you're doing, but how do you feel about some of the things you learned? I highlighted that because that's a question. And then go on through talking about some of the things that you learned. There's a reply to your own post. You know, I agree with you on the facts that this and that happened with the documentation. Or you're going to reply to another person's post where you're saying, you know, oh, I agree that this is what I found, and onward. So those are kind of the examples of how that would play out for that discussion. These discussion posts need to have some kind of research based on what you're saying to them. I don't put word counts on these because I leave it up to you to make sure that it is substantial. I'll show you where you find the rubric, the grading rubric, and you should read through that to see what I'm looking for in your posts. So now we have topics of the week. They're kind of like hot topics. You know, if we were in a classroom, we would be having that back and forth conversation. And that's what this is supposed to be. So I am going to make a post. I'm going to give you that hot topic. And then with these discussion areas, you cannot make a new thread, kind of like you did in the other discussion post. I'm kind of forcing you to stay within the one thread where we're all reading what everyone's saying. So you're going to make that initial post or reply to me saying, you know, this is an answer to your question. Wow, this research that you've shown us is great, but I thought that I would look at this technology too. So again, you're researching and giving answers. This is where you can also give your opinion. But that opinion needs to be based on some kind of research. So you can't just say, I like chocolate. You need to say something like, well, I think chocolate is best because it has, this less sugar in it. It's healthier for you, and base those opinions on research that you've done. And I know I'm kind of really pounding on the research part, but that is very important, those sources. And then you have to cite those sources. I'll go into that in just a minute. But again, your 3 posts, you're going to reply to your classmates, you're going to reply to other people who might reply to you. Same kind of concept. I say 3 because you need to be in the classroom or logging into Blackboard at least 3 times a week. The syllabus does have the due dates for both the discussion and the topic of the weeks, and when those initial posts are due. And that's kind of to help you out, so you don't wait till Sunday, which you shouldn't be doing, because I want you in there 3 times. It's up to you what 3 times a week it is. You do need to make those by the due dates. But let's just say if you did Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, that's 3. You're in there 3 separate days, 3 different posts. And that will give you that excellent rating in that category. I mentioned your sources. You need to do the research and then cite your sources appropriately. I will have a whole section in here about how to cite sources, not in this video, but in the class. If you have problems with it, then you need to go to MyStar, the library tab. They have so many resources. I do not want to see a URL. So no www. all by itself. That is not proper citation, and I will treat it as if you did not cite your source at all. So let me show you here really quick where you're going to find the rubric. So you're in our classroom, and right down here where it says discussion topics of the week, that very first attachment is the rubric. You would click on that. Mine actually brings it as I have to open it up, but here it is. This tells you everything that I'm going to be grading on. You can look. If you do just what's required, you'll get an above average rating. You need to do something over and beyond to get that excellent, which is the full amount of points for the discussion posts. So I hope that this has helped answer some of your questions. If you do have more questions, feel free to let me know. And I can't wait to hear and read all of the interesting research that you do this semester.